Hi Apurva, how are you?
Hi, sir. I'm good. How are you?
I am good too. So it's been almost 1.5 years since you were at the same position where a lot of students are today, right?
Yes.
How is IFT going for you? कैसा लग रहा है?
It's very good. It's a very different experience in if very different wholesome experience, and I think everybody dreams of it. I'm living the dream, so yeah, happy with it.
All right. अच्छा, before IFT, how much was your work experience? मतलब you're a non-engineer, right? You're a non-engineer, and how much was your work ex?
So I'm a BBA graduate, and I had a work ex of a year. So I've
Okay.
worked for 1 year as a digital marketing executive in an
Hmm.
FMCG startup.
Okay. 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 Cool. राइट सो फर्स्ट थिंग अभी अभी कैट हुए अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर देयर जिनका कैट बिल्कुल तुम्हारी वाली हालत में आई स्टिल रिमेंबर वेरी वेल अवर डिस्कशन एवरीथिंग दैट कैट डिड नॉट गो एज प्लान राइट व्हाट इज वन सिंपल एडवाइस दैट यू विल गिव टू एवरीवन
I'll just say जो you had also told me उस time पे obviously believe नहीं होता but I think मैं believe करवा पाऊंगी. CAT is not the only thing in life. There are other exams and there are other colleges which go through these exams like IIFT है other XLRI etc. And you have multiple chances. So CAT पे मत रुको. Like be sad for a day or 2 days and then like again get up and then start working is what I'll say.
इट्स नॉट द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड इट्स जस्ट
Yeah.
द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द गेम ऑलराइट परफेक्ट वेल अंडरस्टूड राइट बात करते हैं पर इस बात की कि व्हेन योर कैट वाज डन एंड यू गॉट द आंसर एंड देन यू पिक्ड योरसेल्फ अप एंड हमने आईएफटी के लिए किया आईएफटी में 4 सेक्शंस हैं मेजरली हमारे पास राइट सो वी विल कीप इट वेरी कंसाइज ताकि बच्चों को सब पता लग जाए पता जीके की बात करेंगे फिर वर्बल की फिर एल क्वांट की और फिर एलआर की ठीक है जीके में तुमने क्या क्या हैंडल किया था कैसे कैसे किया था
So, GK mein there are two types of GK which I remember, which was current affairs and static. Static again is like it's endless. Somebody who's good at it is a different thing. I wasn't, so I chose to do the current affairs part, and I concentrated only for that particular year. So for us, it was Jan 2021 where IFT happened. So पूरा 2020 में जो भी हुआ था, I had covered that. And I remember you used to make these videos, like these 3 4 hour long videos. You used to cover such things. So I just used to watch those videos and make notes. And then eventually, like, take a day, ratto everything and whatever. And it does stay in your mind because उस time पे pressure भी होता है, so it actually keeps stays in your mind. So it helps in your paper also. Plus, a lot of things will also be elimination से, options you will be able to pick out and then हो जाता है. Also, then there were these threads on Facebook that you used to keep sending
हम्म
for GK. So I used to keep doing that also. So that also helps. So
हम्म
मेरा main prep was GK was this only, nothing more apart from this.
परफेक्ट सो व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट इट आई न्यू इट विल कम आउट सो मैंने खोला हुआ है हमारा जो ग्रुप है फेसबुक पे बाय द नेम क्वांटिफायर्स राइट सो इफ यू आर देयर you can join our Facebook group cat preparation quantifiers and in this we keep on practicing various things for GK etc right Shazwan sir is the one who conducts GK practice for many years for example today just 12 hours before we did some static GK and that is we keep on doing till the D day right हम इन चीजों को करते रहेंगे right and the videos will come right for everything so this is one thing about the GK preparation ठीक है so you as you told कि static GK का कोई अंत नहीं है वो मॉक से जितनी होती है वो कर लो करंट अफेयर पिछले 1 साल के चार्ट जाओ और उसकी प्रैक्टिस करते रहो और दैट्स इट करंट अफेयर्स पे ज्यादा कंसंट्रेट करो
Yes.
परफेक्ट लेट्स कम टू द सेकंड पॉइंट दैट इज वर्बल
Hmm. So for verbal, again, I used to do mocks. Again, the threads that you used to give, I used to do that. So there's a significant difference in the level of verbal you get in CAT and the level of verbal you get in IIFT. I'll definitely say it's a tad bit easier. And also उतने लंबे पैराग्राफ्स में तो जितने लंबे एंड कॉम्प्लिकेटेड कैट में आते हैं तो उसकी प्रैक्टिस थोड़ी जो डिफरेंटली करनी होती है आई वुड से जस्ट स्टिक टू मॉक्स एंड जस्ट स्टिक टू व्हाटएवर ग्रुप पे फेसबुक ग्रुप व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप जो भी है वहां पे जो आता है प्लस IIFT में also you get these vocabulary related questions a lot of jumbled words where you have to unjumble and make a word etc etc वो सब चीजें is not in CAT so that I would suggest do from past year papers mock etc. उन सबसे practice कर लो, should be enough.
All right. So verbal ke liye, when I talk about specifically, you told that the level of verbal is a tad easier as compared to cat. The RCs are lengthy, but they are not very complicated as compared to cat in order to understand it. उसके अलावा इट
Yes.
इज ग्रामर एंड वोकैब बेस्ड जो ज्यादा पेपर होते हैं, सो हमें उसके लिए पुराने पेपर्स करने चाहिए, मॉक्स पे डिपेंड रहना चाहिए, और जो थ्रेड्स वगैरह आ रहे हैं फेसबुक के वो तो करने ही करने चाहिए, राइट? ये दो
Yep.
तीन चीजें होंगी हमारी. परफेक्ट. ऑलराइट, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द नेक्स्ट थिंग, क्वांट.
Hmm. Quant also, I would say, previous year papers. For previous year papers, you should do for everything, for every section, because they are the best benchmark that you will have. Do previous year, do mocks specifically for IIFT and like IIFT level papers, not for CAT, because again, mock quant is a little different. They focus more on like simple interest and profit wale jo questions hote hain, arithmetic basically. I personally felt that arithmetic पे ज्यादा focus होता है again, and Facebook पे जो questions आते हैं वो.
Alright, done. So when I talk about quant specifically, right, we can simply say that पुराने पेपर्स आपको ज्यादा आइडिया देंगे. पैटर्न देखो, बेसिक्स हमारे सेम होते हैं, चाहे आप कैट कर रहे हो चाहे आईएफटी, बेसिक सेम हो रहे हैं. डिफिकल्टी लेवल आईएफटी का थोड़ा सा इजी होता है एज कम्पेयर टू कैट, बट एट द सेम टाइम कॉम्पिटिशन तो हमारा वही है. तो जो आपके लिए इजी है वो सबके लिए इजी है, तो वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर दैट मच ओनली. बट थोड़ा स्पीड बेस ज्यादा लाना पड़ेगा इसमें हमें, है ना? राइट,
हाँ,
दिस थिंग.
yes,
सो and same goes for LR basically, right? If we have to
yeah.
define it, right, the main thing is previous year papers will play a major role in these things,
I
right?
think also one more thing that I'd like to add, जो मुझे personally mocks के time पे feel हुआ था IIFT के, that I very clearly remember. So in CAT बहुत specific difference होता है कि वहाँ पे allotted time होता है. You know that okay, this section में इतना ही time मिलेगा, जो भी 1 hour 40 minutes जो भी है. IIFT में at least मेरे time पे ऐसा नहीं था. It's a 2-hour window
अभी
and
भी है.
you need to divide. And a lot of people, even in my time, a lot of my friends had done this mistake, that if you're strong in a particular section, you keep doing that. You forget that there is a sectional limit that you will have to cross. So accordingly, time management उस time पे बहुत necessary होता है. तो you shouldn't be like I'm good at quant, तो मैं VAR से बिल्कुल नहीं देखूंगा. So
Perfect. So
don't
I
do that.
just shared the pattern for this year also, right? We are talking about same. The number of questions are 110. The number of the hours are 2 hours 120 minutes, right? And there is no sectional limit. So the basic thing is कि सबसे पहले अपनी एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन की कट ऑफ क्लियर करो, एंड क्लियर करने के बाद अपने पावरफुल सेक्शन पे जाओ. दिस
Yep,
वन मिस्टेक दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल मेक, कि अगर हमारा क्वांट स्ट्रांग है तो पहले क्वांट ही करते जाते हैं, और लास्ट में इतना ज्यादा प्रेशर आ जाता है कि आप बाकी चीजों में मिस्टेक्स करते हो, राइट?
exactly.
सो वी शुड पर्टिकुलरली एम्फेसाइज अपॉन कटिंग कट ऑफ, जो कट ऑफ पे होते हैं. द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कट ऑफ्स आर नॉट ग्रेट, बहुत वेरी हाई. अगर आप देखो वर्बल की 19 है, क्वांट की 8 है, एलआरडीए की 13 है, एंड इफ यू लुक एट द नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन, 3 मार्क्स पर क्वेश्चन, तो 3 क्वेश्चन क्वांट के ठीक करोगे तो आपके कट ऑफ क्लियर है. 7 क्वेश्चन वर्बल के करोगे तो कट ऑफ क्लियर है. 4-5 क्वेश्चन एलआरडीए के करोगे, तो पहले एक बार जब आपने सात क्वेश्चन कर लिए तीनों सेक्शंस के, यू कैन पर्टिकुलरली मूव टू योर sections in which you feel that you can score pretty well,
So I
right?
had actually, so what I used to do in papers like IIFT where there was no sectional limit, I used to scan the paper. First scan में जितने questions I could do where I could clear the cutoff, ये आपने मुझे बताया था, I used to do that. Once
Yes.
I know, so I remember for GK also, because I know बहुत ज़्यादा strong area नहीं है. For GK I had done only questions where I was short, so that sectional cutoff निकल जाए. Again VARC के हमारे time पे बहुत दिक्कत हुई थी in terms of infrastructural issues in the user interface. But I was, because I was strong in quant, and quant में इतना मतलब once you know the question you can easily solve, बहुत ज़्यादा ऊपर नीचे नहीं करना पड़ता है. So I had maximized my second screening वाला जो question time होता है in quant.
And it worked wonders for you,
Yes,
right?
touch wood.
All right. So Apurva, let's say once you this, how is the GDPI structure it, and how much मतलब percentile आपके, अगर आपके बैच में if the minimum percentile you remember जिस पे किसी का IIFT convert हुआ हो, so that people can get an idea, if you have any idea you can tell us about that. How was your interview like? Was it more academic based or job profile based? कैसा था?
So हमारे time पे, like at my time it was GDPI plus VAT. Not GDPI, it was PI plus extempore and VAT. And VAT I think last year तो हट ही गया है, so probably this year also maybe it's not there. VAT if it's there for me, VAT was basically you will get a topic, random topics to everybody,
Written
and you just have
ability
to write
test.
some how many ever words that was required in some 15 or 20 minutes. ऐसा कुछ था. And for PI extempore, how I had prepared for my PI is I had again taken out major topics that had happened that year because it was the COVID year. So there were a lot of topics that had happened. So taken out those topics. Plus, I had also gone into like history of, say, because it's a trade college, there is a good chance they ask you something related to trade. So you should know the basics of trade, especially Indo-China trade war or US-China trade war. In सबका origination कैसे हुआ था back in the day, history and all. I had read everything. And
Okay.
again, I used to make notes of everything. ऐसा बस सुनती नहीं थी. So I used to watch videos and all. I used to make note down points. So I know this is what I need to cover. Um, when my PI in extempore happened, I got a very abstract topic of extempore, um, offline learning versus online learning, and iska kuch extension that I had to give. And again, you get a maximum of 30 seconds to like think your points. Wo bhi if the panel is not in the mood, you might not even get that. You just have to start off. So I would also suggest that to please, practice those extempore ka 2 minutes. It can really make or break. Because I remember I had given my extempore and
Hmm.
whatever points I had said was one panel member ka starting question to me.
Hmm.
So that like does link to your interview also. My interview again was because I had 1 year of work-ex. It was very based on my work-ex of what I had done. But
Okay.
I would also suggest that it totally depends on the kind of CV you have. Like on my CV, I had like good achievements on my work-ex, so they wanted to know how I achieved those numbers, etc., etc. But if you're a fresher, they will probably stress more on acads.
It
Also,
also
there will
may
be
it also may depend upon the panel you get. To
it
be
yeah, it
honest.
totally depends on the panel you get. Also, uh, so IIFT में ये क्या बहुत होता है, like they want to know your opinion on everything. You might be right or wrong, but they just want to know what your stance on a particular topic is and how well you're able to justify it.
Hmm.
So for me, they in fact even talked a little about the US-China trade war, and then they into like what WTO does, and WTO का कोई relevance है या नहीं है, and all of that, just to see कि अगर तुम्हें WTO के बारे में पता है उसका relevance क्या है, उससे
Okay.
how can you link it to like the Indo-China or the US-China trade war.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
वो सब भी मुझसे पूछ लिया था, but in a very different way. So
Okay.
that's also there. So I think thoda like just be aware, and that you can only be aware when you've read about so many topics.
Okay. So I know that
And
IIFT.
sorry, I forgot to answer the lowest percentile question. I honestly don't know because nobody discusses this in college. But like I have seen people getting into IIFT even with a 90 percentile or like even with an 89 percentile because they had great academics, they
Easy.
had a diverse background, and their GDP, like their PI was also very good.
A very good point to note that even at 90 percentile approximately, some people can get in if they have great resumes, basically, right? And they have great things to talk about, and they can actually talk about it, right?
Yeah,
So to have great things is one thing, and to be able to talk about it is a very different thing,
yeah.
right? Acha, how one of the questions that students ask me that how is the life at IIFT? Right. मतलब,
Uh,
how's the pressure like when you go into, as a newbie, कैसा pressure होता है? कैसी, how's the life at IIFT?
So, see, pressure you go to in any B school, initial first trisem will always go in pressure because you have your summer placements coming up, and you are also acclimatizing yourself with the whole environment that you are put into. But I would also suggest that, I would also say that we are very helpful as seniors at IIFT. Like I also did a lot for my juniors. हम उनको पूरा prepare करवाते हैं for their summer placements, how you're supposed to, what you're supposed to say in their interviews, etc. There are mock interviews, there are mock GDs. So पूरा एक वो पूरे activity होती है. So we do all of that.
पूरा
So
इकोसिस्टम
once
डेवलप्ड है आपका पूरा सपोर्ट का.
हाँ मतलब वो there are a lot of activities. It will be very overwhelming for you as a junior to take in, but I would also say that realize the fact that seniors also putting in and they're putting in their effort. like wholeheartedly. हमें कुछ reward नहीं मिल रहा होता. It's just that we want the batch to be in a better position.
All
So
right.
वो हो जाएगा manage.
And how do you see IFT placed with respect to at part with respect to IMs? The placement, like, are the similar profiles offered, the similar companies come to the campus and everything? How do you think about that?
So see, IIFT, I mean, okay, you can probably leave consulting related companies, but consulting maybe McKinsey does come, like it's in a report as well. Uh, but there are certain other companies that do not come to IIFT yet. But would also say वो usually सिर्फ IIM ABC जाती है, like that's the league. But if you see
Holy
other
Trinity को छोड़
companies,
दो अगर तो.
हाँ exactly, Holy Trinity को छोड़ दो तो. But if you see other companies, if you compare IIFT with other colleges, our placements are neck to neck when it comes to sales and marketing, and placements are neck to neck for finance, for Genman roles. Only HR में we are not there, but because IIFT also doesn't offer HR really. मतलब अगर आपको HR करना है तो then I would suggest go to XLRI or TIS or something.
Yeah, obviously.
IIFT then is not the option for you.
Hmm.
But our placements are neck to neck. We get good roles. We are offered good money. That all of that is sorted.
Obviously, we know about the money. I know a lot of things about your money part. Let's not disclose it here. A lot of
Yeah.
parties are pending in that. All right. So if anyone is interested, these are the last year statistics of this. Right, consulting. That major chunk was consulting, 25%, followed by finance 21, sales and market 21%, general statements. So this is the sector wise distribution, domain wise. The CTZs, if we talk about 25.16, is the average CTC of the batch. So these are in fact huge numbers, right? Huge numbers. And percentage of PPO 34%, जिसमें कि आपके वाला भी counted है most probably, right?
नहीं, this is our
This
seniors.
is
So
these are
for
your seniors.
seniors also, you need to take in account कि उस time पे corona वाला batch है. So the offers will definitely go up.
Yeah,
It
obviously.
gets better for every batch. So for our batch, in fact, so we are 21 to 23 batch. For us, the summer placements report has been published on our website. The students, aspirants can like go through that, and you'll get a fair idea of how diverse my batch is, because this is my batch. So how diverse my batch is, what kind of background people have. ऐसा भी नहीं है हमारे बैच में कि बहुत सारे engineers ही हैं. We have only I think some 61 or 64% who are engineers, rest are non-engineers, which is a very very good number to have in a B school. In most B schools you will not find, especially in IIMs, बहुत high percentage होती है for engineers. So
Right.
again IIFT again gets very, I would say becomes an important choice for you when you're a non-engineer, because they give a lot of weightage to this whole whole
Diversity.
diversity thing.
All right.
You get points if you're a female who's coming from a non-engineering background. So
Yeah.
that's really
Really helps
good,
you
I would say.
boost your
Yeah.
profile. All
Yeah.
right, all right, all right. Okay, so we have touched on so many facets, right? Any final messages that you would want to give to IFT aspirants who will be coming as your super juniors?
Oh yes, my super juniors. I'll just like to wish them all the best. I will also like to say that you don't need to be disheartened. I understand this. I have been there. I prepared for, I don't know, some 9, 10 months while I was working, and then I left my job. So I'm sure a lot of people would have left their job for CAT and all, and now are in this turmoil कि अब क्या करूँ या अब क्या, मतलब what's my path? I have been there, and for me personally, it was not just CAT that went wrong. It was CAT, it was that, it was NMIMS ki cutoff that I think I missed by a mark. It
Yes,
was
I
symbiosis. So all went bad. In fact, I remember telling it to sir that I have given up when it was IIFT exam. That was because IIFT exam for us happened very late. It happened, I think,
yeah,
late
in
Jan,
January 20th approximately.
24th or something, if I'm
Yeah,
not
I
wrong.
I
And I
remember
remember,
that,
yeah,
you're
I remember having this conversation where I tell you, like, I have given up. I don't care if this is not happening. We'll see. Ab mujh se nahi ho sakta. And I had gone with that attitude that it's okay. I am all chill if I make it very well. If I don't make it very well, I've given my all. So I went with a very chill mind, and I think that worked for me, because when I got the call, I was like, okay, I have got the GDPI call. And that's when I actually started. Like, then I had become okay, IIFT is my mission. And then 1 month I devoted for my prep. for my GDPI prep, and touchwood took out IIFT Delhi.
All right. So basically that 1 month then transformed you entirely. And just to give a faint idea to the people who are watching this, what was your cat percentile, if you would want to mention, totally your discretion?
Oh God, it was pathetic. It was somewhere, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was in the 70s. Like I didn't even touch 80. It was in 70s.
All right.
It
So
was that bad.
what I want to tell everyone who is watching this right now, that every exam will bring ample amount of chances, ample amount of opportunities with you. And the girl I am talking with, I don't know if you remember this or not. I remember talking to you at 1 a.m. in the night, right? When, again, I don't want to mention this, but you were very heavy hearted, right? That you have screwed CAT and every other possible exam that could exist for MBA entrance. And then IFT came as a, came as something, a shining, bright light. So it was just a silver lining, right? So just don't give hope. A lot of aspirants right now will quit. So that is bad for them, but that is in other way good for you. Competition come over. But at the end, if you're not quitting, if you're honest, or if your efforts are honest, you will definitely reach somewhere, right? So this is it. Thank you so much, Miss Apurva Jan, so showstopper as your name shows, right? So thank you so much for taking all the time. And if there is
Thank you
anything,
so
हमारे
much.
जो ये बच्चे होंगे बाद में GDPI के लिए हम उनको आपके पास भेजेंगे कि इनको थोड़ी गाइडेंस दे दो. Okay?
I'm sure you're more than capable to handle all of this. But ठीक है, if you need any help.
ठीक है, done. Thank you so much, Pooja. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye bye.